Here. Happy Sunday. So, if I'm not mistaken, this might be my first time going live on a Sunday. I actually wanted to go live earlier today, but had some things going on. I've been working on getting the front of the hoop house. I've been working on getting a door attached to that. So that's what I've been working on today. But in this particular video today, you guys know I have no idea what I'm doing with this sugar cane. So we're going to plant some sugar cane. We also have mango. We've got dragon fruit, another grapefruit we're going to try. And we just going to kick it. It's Sunday. So appreciate it, everybody that's coming in. So Auntie's World, hello to you. Hope you enjoyed your Sunday. So again, yeah, I'm gonna be kicking it with you guys today. So, um, first things first, I wanted to talk about the app. So the app will be coming out this week. I'll let you know the exact date. Again, this is still gonna need some work. It's gonna be in a beta mode. Okay, so if you're just coming in, appreciate you. Please hit that thumbs up. We're gonna be planting some sugar cane, dragon fruit, mango. We're gonna be planting all that today. So just bear with me. So again, I think this is the first Sunday evening I've ever gone live. So hopefully you guys had a great Sunday. You getting some rest, getting ready for this week ahead. Okay. But yeah, the app, still working on that. It'll be in the beta mode sometime this week, like I said, but I'll let you guys know. Also, as I stated earlier, I've been working on putting a door on that hoop house that we built. So that's gonna be more work than I thought, because if you guys remember when I built it, it was on a ground that's made for water to sit. So there's that little U shape that I'm having to build around. So you'll probably see a video coming out this week of us working on that. So appreciate you guys for kicking it with me on this Sunday evening. So anything you guys want to talk about while I have you here before we get started. So let me know in the comments if you got any questions for me. But one thing that I wanted to talk about, and this is my first time ever planting this, so you guys will be able to see what I'm doing wrong. But this is a sugar cane. So you can see it's got the roots there. So from my understanding after my research this week is every one of these lines produces roots. If I'm wrong, correct me. Um, I really don't know, but I'll learn. I'm gonna learn. And then you see these shoots that are coming up. This is where the new sugar cane is gonna pop out. Okay. So I am going to do a little bit of cutting, and from what I've seen, people have cut these with a saw. So I'm assuming it's similar to bamboo. If you know anything about a sugar cane, let me know in the comments. Okay. So again, I am completely new to this, never done it. I'm eating everything in my house. Hey, I feel you. I've been eating a lot today too. I actually, so yeah, yesterday I ran a half marathon as a part of a build up to either doing a half marathon or a marathon to raise funds for Prosper Garden Foundation. We're going to be raising funds to create more raised beds. So as we get the funds, I'll be building more raised beds like we did last year. So that's what the goal is to raise funds for that. So yeah, I've been training for a little while, and yeah, it's a lot of hard work, but it's fun to me. Okay. All right. So hello, Jack Mills. Hello. Let me make sure I say the name right. The fine Bonner. Hello to you as well. Okay. So again, I have no idea what I'm doing with the sugar cane. And so I think that because I see roots growing out right here, I'll probably make the first cut about right here, and then I'll probably do another cut somewhere in here because I have a few 5-gallon buckets here. So I am going to grab a saw here. Again, I've never done this, but we are going to see what's going to happen. So again, from my understanding, since each line produces a root, don't know if that's true or not. I'm going to see how it goes sawing this thing. I already feel like I'm messing up, but let's see. Yeah, it is kind of like chopping through wood. All right, so we got one there. And then I'll probably go just behind this one here because it looks like we got a shoot right there. So let's go ahead and saw that one. Yeah, this is exactly like bamboo. Well, that one came off pretty easy. So again, these are going to be the new sugarcane plants supposedly that are going to pop up straight up this way. Now, I've seen videos with people planting them down that way, but they say the better results are going to be if you plant them horizontally. I'm sorry. Yeah, horizontally. So hello to you, Orange Monkey Run, as well. So we are planting sugarcane that I have no idea what I'm doing, like I said. But again, each one of these lines should be a new set of roots, okay? So we cut off this one here so you can see those roots. So what I'm gonna do is, since this one has roots, I'm gonna put it back into the bucket, let it root a little bit more, and then, yeah, put it in in a raised bed or something, I don't know. So here's the first cutting. So we're gonna do another one, and then I'll plant them in the buckets here. So I'm going to cut maybe about right here on this one. Now I will say, as I go up further, it's cutting easier. Okay. All right, and then we got the rest here that I'll probably plant in something else. So here's our 5-gallon bucket here. Set it there. Actually, I don't even know if that'll fit in there, so I may have to do another cut. My measurements were a little bit off, so let's go ahead and put this one in since it looks to be a little bit shorter. So I'm gonna take it, dig a nice little path here. Hopefully you can see. Dig a nice path. They say you're supposed to plant it like, I don't know, 5 inches deep. I don't know if that's true or not. Let me know if you know, because I completely don't know. All right, so I think that should be down in there good enough. So we're going to take the one that fits, press it firmly, and then we're going to cover it up. All right, so there's one. And now for this one, I got to cut a little bit more off of it. So I'm going to go here. That way I can plant this one since it's got another set of roots that it can use. So again, if you're just coming in, I'm a newbie with sugarcane, so we're trying to figure this out together. I have no idea what I'm doing. This is the first time, so now I'm going about 5 inches deep here, so this can get in there. Press it down firmly, making sure that the little sprouts are facing upward. And then we're just gonna cover it up. Uh-oh. So I'm just gonna make sure the other one the sprouts are facing up as well. So those are roots. All right, there we go. So we got everything the way we need it now. All right. So calendar. All right, so will you plant one in ground just to see how two plantings differ in growth? Yeah, so I'm going to, so the plan is to, so what we have left here, the plan is to get this in the ground, but I'm going to do it probably in the hoop house. I'm going to plant it in the ground in the hoop house because the weather that we have is just so unpredictable. I'm afraid that if even in May, right? Let's say if it's May, I plant it in the ground outdoors. I'm afraid that the frost will come and just wipe it out. So I'm gonna plant it in the ground, but it's gonna be inside the hoop house. Okay, so that's how I'm gonna do that. So for example, I had a dragon fruit that grew to be like 10 feet tall. And I put it outside in May. It was like the end of May. This was maybe 6, 7 years ago. I mean, this thing was starting to flower and everything. And I went somewhere. I can't remember where I went for a couple of days. I come back. There was light frost that came, and that plant ended up dying. So I don't want the same thing to happen to the sugar cane. So I'm gonna plant it inside the hoop house. Okay. So that's what the goal is to get those buckets in the hoop house. That way we know that they'll be good. Even if I have to build a smaller hoop inside the hoop house, that's another option too. Make sure I mulch them real good as well. So that's kind of what the plan is. Appreciate the question. So next we've got mango, okay? And we got some dragon fruit here. So I'm gonna start with the dragon fruit. So this is a red fleshed dragon fruit, and I've grown them from seed before. The seeds are so tiny, right? So I've grown them in trays like this and sprinkled them out. It takes a little while before the seeds will germinate that way. So the way I've learned to germinate the seeds quickly is with a paper towel and a Ziploc bag. Okay. So I'm going to take about 3 paper towel here, fold it in half, and then we're gonna spray it down with water. So I got my paper towel, got my sprayer, and I'm just gonna spray it down. And you'll see where I'm going with this in just a second. Spraying it down. And so I'm going to practice the water here. Slice open the dragon fruit. Straight down the middle. Now look at all of those seeds in there. It's a ton of seeds. So typically what I normally would do is take a spoon, but I'm just gonna just gently slice another layer down. I mean, there's just so many seeds in this thing. Okay. Look at all of the seeds. So I've got a bowl of water here. Okay, I got a bowl of water. And so what I'm going to do is just take a small section here and just dip it in water and just try to get as many seeds off as I can. Okay. Now, a lot of people will do this over a strainer, which is fine. That way you can catch all of the different seeds that are gonna fall in here. Hopefully you guys can at least see the bowl. So you can see, maybe, I don't know if you can see it now, but some of the dragon fruit seeds are starting to kind of float around. Now, the reason why I'm cleaning them off is because you have a chance of it molding or mildewing if you don't get the flesh off. So, and you'll see what I mean. It'll all come together in just a second here. So we got it pretty good here. So I'm gonna take some of the flesh out of here. See how many seeds we got floating around in here. Now, again, some of you may have a better method of doing this. I've seen people years ago do it over a strainer, which is cool, but I know you guys probably can't see, but there's seeds floating all around in here. So I'm just gonna continue to clean this off a little bit, get some of this flesh out of here. And then once we have some of the flesh out of here, I'm gonna drain it some, because trying to grab them with your hands is gonna be hard. We're gonna drain it out a little bit, and then we're gonna place them inside the paper towel here. So if you're just coming in, we appreciate you guys for being here. Please hit that thumbs up. So far, we planted sugarcane. We're now getting things set to plant some dragon fruit. So we are getting to work in here. So let me grab this bowl here. There's an extra bowl. So I'm gonna just drain it out. Again, I know some of you probably got a better process than this, but this is how I do it. Let me get another bowl here. Drain this one out. Then I'll show you what it looks like. So again, it's not gonna be perfect getting the flesh off of every, I'm sorry, the seed off of every flesh, but at least it won't be as bad. So now you can see we probably got about, I don't know, 50 seeds up in here. All right, so now I'm gonna take the seeds and spread them out a little bit. So I'm just spreading them out. And then we're gonna roll the paper towel up. We're gonna let it sit for maybe about 10 days or so. And then when we come back to it, and I'll probably stick it on this window here. So this is I forget what you call those things. My brain is kind of all over the place right now. A sauna. So that's a sauna that I built maybe a couple months ago that we used. And I'm going to just stick it on there because we haven't been using it as of late. If we start to use it, then I'll take it off. But right now it's about 80 degrees in there. So I'm going to just stick this on the window. Not now, but after the video. So I'm folding it. I'm gonna fold it the 4th time. Now I'm gonna take my Ziploc bag here. I'm gonna put it in here. And then in about, I don't know, 10 days or so, we'll come back. And what'll happen is you'll see little roots start to grow in here, okay? So again, this is how I get my dragon fruit started. Now, I understand, like I said, many people have their own methods. For me, this is the one that tends to do the best, okay? And the reason for me it works the best, alongside of doing it with the strainer is cool too, is sometimes depending on the soil, if I were to take those seeds and put them directly into the soil, sometimes they'll get mold and mildew if it's flesh on them, because I'm not in a climate where these actually grow, right? So typically these do well in Arizona, Southern California, kind of that dry type of climate. So where I am is high humidity, extreme weather changes. It could be 95 one day and it could be 0 the next. So again, that's kind of what we're dealing with where I am. All right, so we've got our dragon fruit. Okay, we got our dragon fruit planted. We've got our sugar cane planted. And next we're gonna work on the mango. So let me move this out of the way here. All right, so we got our mango. So again, some of you, if you don't feel comfortable doing this, you can always buy a mango tree. But to be honest with you guys, from my experience, the dragon fruit grows pretty fast. You can also buy a cutting of a dragon fruit. If you want to get a cutting, you can set it in a pot. It'll root and it moves really quick. Okay. But other than that, if you want to pay the money for them, that's up to you. So let's go ahead and get this mango open. And this is a good one here. Now you got to be very careful with the mango because the seeds are pretty big and they can be all the way up here at the top. You just never know with these mangoes. And it can be some work to get to the seed on these as well. So again, if you're just coming in, we appreciate you for being here. We're planning all kind of things today. And again, I wanted to go live a little bit earlier, but life happens sometimes. Busy weekend is all I can say. So if there's anything you want to talk about, go ahead, shoot me a question in the comments and we'll start chatting. But for now, what we're doing is opening this mango up to get to the seed. And none of this that I'm opening up is going to go to waste. Trust me. None of it's going away. So if you're just coming in, we appreciate you. Please hit that thumbs up. We actually planted a sugar cane. The first time I've done that, we planted dragon fruit. Now we're working on the mango. Okay. So once we get to the seed, we're going to open it up, open the seed up. That way we can get the tree to germinate quicker. Now, sometimes these mango seeds will produce 2 different trees, 3 different trees sometimes. Okay. I think the most I've seen from planting a mango is 4 different trees growing off one seed. That's crazy, but I would assume in nature they probably can do more than that. So I'm just being very careful here. So you can see I'm no mango cutting expert. I could leave that to my wife. She's good with these mangoes. So again, none of this flesh is gonna go to waste, so don't worry. So I can already hear a seed crunching in here. But again, we are going to get to the inside of that seed. Okay. So if you have any experience growing any of this, mangoes, dragon fruit, sugar cane, let us know your experience. Give us some tips if you've ever grown any of these. What's your experience been? Make sure nobody's sending me a message here. So again, guys, ask me anything you want. Doesn't have to be about gardening. It can be about anything. Shoot me a message. What grow zone are you guys in? I'm in 5B. And we had a pretty good weather week this week. Overall, we were in the 50s and 60s. And now today, guess what? It was like a high of 20-something. Snow is everywhere. The winds are blowing like crazy. So like I said on one of the previous lives, yeah, this winter stuff is far from over. There's always gonna be a fight to get to that next season, especially when you're going from cold to warm. Now, one thing about these mangoes, right? I've let them grow outside before, and one thing I could say about them is this: once it starts to get over 85, where I am at least, because it could get very hot and dry, especially towards the end of the summer. It doesn't really like that. For me, where I am, about 80 degrees. Once it goes past 80, I'm putting the mangoes in the shade or even back in the house because it's got a specific type of weather that it likes. And the summers where I am, it just doesn't like that. All right, so we're getting close now to the seed. I know some of you are probably like, man, this is just too much work, but I mean, you can pay $100, you know, $50, $60 if you want to for a mango tree. That's up to you. But if you want to grow it for free, you can do it like this. So now, with the seed, since we're getting close, there is a outer shell to the seed. Okay, so there's an outer shell, and then in the inside of that shell, there is the seed. Now, where we are now, you can plant it like this. We can see the shape of the seed. But if you decide to plant it like this, there is a chance, depending on what kind of temperature you live in, what the humidity is, this thing can mildew, right? So for me, I like to go ahead and get this thing out of the shell. That way I know it's gonna be a clean a clean growth spurt, right? Because I don't want to have a baby tree starting off with a disease. So that's the reason why I'm doing this. Just in case you're wondering, why am I doing all of this? So again, if I were to grow this outside, then I probably could put it directly in the ground like this. But again, by the time I get it into the ground here where I am, it'll be a very short season for this thing to really get some growth. So for me, I'd rather just do it this way. So now I'm trying to get to the seed here. I'm trying to split the seed open, but we still got flesh around this thing. So again, if you got questions for me, anything, doesn't matter what it is, put it in the comments. I'll read them and then I'll respond to you. But right now we're trying to get to this mango seed, and I'm being very careful because these things can damage very easily too. And if you damage it, yeah, you'll have to do another one. So I'm being very careful. So again, if you're just coming in, please hit that thumbs up. We've already planted sugar cane and we planted dragon fruit. So I appreciate you guys for being here. All right, almost there. All right, so I got a question for you guys. Most people I know have never moved away from where they live. Is there anybody out there that has grown in multiple different grow zones? If you have, let me know in the comments how your experience has been transitioning from one grow zone to another. So for me, I gotta be honest, most of my growing has been in grow zone 7, 7A, 7B. I had lived in Nashville for 14 years. I've been here in Indy maybe about 9 years. And the biggest thing for me is having success with spinach and peas, right? For whatever reason, I can never grow spinach and peas well when I lived in Nashville. But I have also noticed too that I've had better success growing mustards in Tennessee than I have in Indiana. Okay, so here mustards, for me, the best time to grow mustards is going to be really right now. You want to get them planted, you want to get them in the ground about right now, and then by April-ish, they gonna be huge, right? And then they're gonna go to seed very quickly as soon as a little bit of heat hits. Mustards where I am just do not do well, but for whatever reason, and when I lived in Tennessee, although it gets hotter there, it stays warmer for longer, and maybe it could be the I would say milder winter temperatures, right? Maybe the milder winter temperatures overall have had enabled me to grow mustards better than here. Okay. So yeah, we're still working this thing. We almost got to it. Again, you could just put this mango seed directly in the ground now. I'm trying to get to the inside to get directly to the seed. That way, um, I can have a nice clean tree grown disease free because of the climate that I'm in with this high humidity. So again, if you're just coming in, I appreciate you. Please hit that thumbs up. Yeah, yeah, this thing is gonna be a little bit more work. So I don't want to bore you guys too much more with that one. We're gonna move on to grapefruit. So if you remember, we tried to find a grapefruit seed the other day, unsuccessful. So we'll see if we can find one in this one. So I bought this one from a different store, okay? And so this store has from my experience, I've never had any produce from this place that didn't have seeds in them. But again, it's going to depend on where they got this one from. So let's go ahead and open it up so you guys can see it. So this is a mango. Okay. I'm gonna gently cut here. So I'm not slicing all the way through. I'm just slicing just enough so that we'll be able to split it open. And again, nothing we have here is gonna go to waste, so don't worry. So if you're just coming in, we've been planting sugar cane, dragon fruit. We're working on getting a mango seed open here. All right, so let's see if we can find any seeds in this one. Yeah, doesn't look like it's gonna be any seeds in this one either. So if you're just coming in, please hit that thumbs up. Ask me any questions that you want. We are here just kind of hanging out, trying to holler at you guys while I have opportunity. I wanted to go live a little bit earlier, but it is what it is. Okay. So again, ask me any questions you guys want. Any questions? See if we can find a seed in this lime, cause I can already tell that grapefruit doesn't have any seeds. So if you're just coming in, we planted dragon fruit and sugar cane. Now we're looking into a lime. We split open a grapefruit, no seeds in there. We're trying to work to getting to the inside of the seed in this mango, but I didn't want to waste too much more time with that. So again, there is the seed actually inside this mango. Um, the reason why I like to split this open to get to the actual seed is for a couple of reasons. One being, I don't really want the mold and mildew. Take the chance of that. If you plant it like this, it'll still germinate. It's gonna take longer, but it'll still germinate. But if you are where I am, again, this thing can easily mold and mildew, and so we want to make sure we don't run into that. So all right, we have this lime here. Want to see if there's any seeds in here. Split this thing open. All right, let's see if we got some seed in here. Doesn't look like we have any seed in here. Check more in the middle. So sometimes your produce isn't gonna have any seeds in them. So again, another one with no seeds in them. So again, ask me any questions you want, guys. I'm here to kind of hang out with you guys, see what you guys are up to in your gardens. Uh, Let me know in the comments. Have you planted anything this week? What do you plan on planting this upcoming week? Let me know how your weekend was. Anything you want to talk about, you can put it in the comments, guys. Yeah, this thing doesn't have any seeds. You try picking into it like this. Yeah, produce doesn't always have the seeds like they used to. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this. So we talked about the app coming out, okay? So again, for those of you that don't know, we have an app coming out, a gardening app coming out. Can't tell you exactly what it'll be about, but you'll see once you sign up for it. I think it's gonna be something good, no matter what community that you're in. Also, haven't decided which one I'll be doing. Hello, Lucas. Hello, Lucas. So I haven't decided which one I'll be doing, but I will be either running a half marathon or a marathon um, to raise funds for Prosper Garden Foundation. We want to get the month of between, well, I would say we want to get started in April, building more raised beds for the community like we were doing last year. We want to start off at least building 10 in the first in April. So that whole month, we want to get 10 built. What are you eating? So we've got dragon fruit, we've got mango, we've got grapefruit and lime. And so what we're doing is we're getting the seeds to plant our own. And so far we've planted sugarcane, dragon fruit. We're working on the mango. So again, this is the mango seed. I'm sure a lot of you probably know you can just plant it just like this. But for me, in my experience, sometimes when I plant them like this, they can produce a little bit of mold. So I want to get away from even taking that chance. Can I see the plant? Uh, so we planted the we planted the dragon fruit. We took the little bitty seeds out of here, put them in the Ziploc bag that has the seeds folded in the paper towel. But the sugarcane plant, uh, here's the top of it, and then this was the bottom. You can see the bottom has a bunch of roots on it. So I'm gonna plant this as well. It already has roots growing from it. I still gotta chop more out of this, but the ones that we cut earlier are in pots. So I'll show you the pots they're in. So we planted some in these 5 gallon pots here. So yeah, we've been getting to work here. We've been putting in a little bit of work today. So I appreciate the comment. So what grow zone are you in? Let me know in the comments. And if you're in grow zone 7 or higher, I'd like to know, when do you start planting? Do you start planting in December? Let me know. I'm always interested to know for those of you that have shorter winters. I remember when I lived in Tennessee, it would get a little cold in December, depending on the year. Some Decembers you could even see 70, 80 degrees. And by the middle of February, in Tennessee, at least where I lived at that time, you were pretty much done with the cold weather. But where I am now, we know when October hits, that warm stuff is over, and it's not gonna end for certain until the middle or the end of May. Okay, I've also seen where I am where April can be warmer than May, or sometime March can be warmer than April. It's so weird. I don't get it, but it is what it is. So yeah, we've been putting in a little bit of work here. So yeah, let me know in the comments what grow zones you guys are in, what you're planning on growing this year. What did you plant last year? What did you fail at? I want to know what you guys are up to, and how you plan on making this garden this season better than last year. So I know for me, I mean everywhere, every year I've learned a lot. Even though the first garden that I started, I don't know if I was. It was 2005, so I don't know at that point if I don't know if I was 20 years old or I was somewhere in that age group. I'm actually about to be 41 in in April. So again, I'm always learning, man. I'm always learning. I always fail, but again, that's how I learn is by failing. So I know a lot of people that are new to this, want to get everything right off the bat, but unfortunately, you know, you gotta fall sometimes. You gotta fall, and I know it sucks, especially if you're somewhere like I am, where we have a shorter growing season. Mustards, for example, we got like a 50-day window for mustards. Why do you go live? Um, I mean, for me, I think that it's better to interact with people more. So that's why I've been going live, is to interact a little bit more. So, I can learn more about you guys, so you can learn more about me. That's the main reason. Now, there's obviously pros and cons to it. I would say one of the reasons another reason why I decided to go live is to really be open to teaching what I know and being more available. So I know a lot of people want to just put the content out there, but it's kind of like all of that is great, but I don't know who you are. You know what I mean? So I want people to know who I am, if that makes sense. And I want to know people for myself. Okay. So yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just, yeah, I just want to interact with the gardening community. I don't know. Like, even though a normal video, you still can put the same information out there. I don't know. I feel like it's just more purpose to doing it this way. I don't know. It's just, then I'm gonna be honest. One of the cons to doing a regular video is the editing, right? So I gotta record the video, then I gotta upload it. Then, if you decide to do a thumbnail, and you gotta do all this and that. But if I go live, right, I don't have to worry about doing any of that. If I mess up, it's all right. I'm human, right? If I mess up, it is what it is. If I stumble over my words, it is what it is. But yeah, I think it's just better to just go live. I think that it's easier for everybody. And not only that, when I'm doing certain things like this, I want people to see it real time. Yes, you can go back and see it whenever you want to, but I like to do it real time. And in the past, what I've noticed is, for example, if I do something in the garden, I've already done it. So now I have to go get my camera, bring the camera to where it is, explain what I did, versus you just being able to see exactly what I'm doing every step of the way, right? That way, it just makes it easier for everybody. I'm doing it real time. You can see what I'm doing. I don't have to do all of this extra. And as a person that has a family of 6 people, all the kids are in activities. I'm in my activities. My wife's in hers. It just cuts down the time, really. What sport are you in? So currently, I mean, I do a little bit of running. So I'll do like, half marathons, 10Ks, 5Ks sometimes. So I mostly do running now. Now, back in the day, I did a little bit of yoga. So I actually taught yoga for, man, it was from 2012 to I think last year so I taught yoga for about 13 years, and I was heavy into calisthenics for a little while too, doing all the handstands and all that stuff when it first started being popular many years ago. So yeah, I try to keep myself busy, try to keep myself in shape and do things that are fun, and avoid doing things that I don't find fun. So that's kind of my objective, to do things that are fun for me at the time. So right now I'm more so into cycling, I'm more so into running. But when I'm 50, right, that might change. Then I may be into martial arts or something like that. I don't know. So I do feel like every decade or so, my interests kind of change. And so for where I am right now is like this endurance thing, getting into the ultra marathons and doing the 100-mile races and stuff like that. That's kind of what I've have goals to work myself up to. So yeah, thanks for all the questions. Where are you located? What grow zone are you located in? Lucas, Fabricant. Let me know what grow zone you're in, and if you got the ball rolling yet in your garden. So yeah, also in my 20s, as a side job, I did personal training for maybe about 7 to 8 years. Um, Weightlifting, I don't really do many. I'll lift weights once a week now, but that's only for the strength training that I need to do my running, because you're using every part of your body, and so you've got to maintain some kind of strength, even upper body. So yeah, most of my workouts is gonna be lower body. So squats, calf raises, lunges, stuff like that. Upper body, I don't. Upper body is kind of hit or miss for me. Sometimes I'll get in the mode where I'm doing, handstand push-ups or pull-ups and stuff like that. But I don't know. Since I've been in my 40s, I haven't really been too much interested in upper body. Not, I mean, not as much. I mean, I've been more so into what's going on right here in those legs, because I know as I get older, those are gonna be two of the most important parts. Is my heart pumping the way it needs to? Am I staying away from, high blood pressure and high cholesterol or messed up cholesterol? And as I'm getting older, are my legs strong enough to keep me walking? And if I take a fall, will I be able to recover quickly? So I've kind of changed the way you know, I've chosen to stay in shape. So what other questions do you guys have? Any questions at all? It could be about anything: gardening, personal life, whatever. Anything I've done in the past, as far as careers, anything. Where did I go to college? Any questions you guys got? Ask anything. Fire off. We're here to kind of kick it a little while. Let me know. Now, my sport that I participated in, I would say the most throughout my life, is gonna be basketball. So that was my first sport love right there. And I mean, I watch it occasionally, but I honestly I found myself watching boxing a little bit more than any sport. I don't know why, but that's kind of what I've been watching a little bit more. So again, guys, any questions you guys got for me, fire them off in the comments. I appreciate everybody for being here. If you haven't hit the like button, go ahead and hit that like button for us, so we can continue to grow this channel. So if you're just coming in, I've been asked, why do I go live now? I've answered that question. Go ahead and check that out. We've also planted some sugar cane. We planted dragon fruit. We're working on the mango right now. So whatever questions you guys have, go ahead and fire them off. So I appreciate you guys for hitting that thumbs up. Now, let's talk more reasons about why I decided to go live. So I spoke about, it being easy for everybody. I spoke about being more interactive. Um, but I will also say, for me, going live is really a chance to grasp the people that want the information, right? So I understand that we've got a community and a lot of people are experts, right? So we want to reach people that are hungry for that information as well. And again, no matter how long we've been doing it, 20 years or whatever, but I'm still learning every day. I'm still growing every day. I'm still making mistakes. And for instance, like this sugar cane, I've never grown a sugar cane before, and I wasn't gonna act like I have. I mean, I just haven't done it all, right? Just tuning in, I went searching for soursop. They're hard to find. Yeah, the trees are hard to find. And I've grown some before. Again, the frost got to them, but I'm trying to think. There was a website that I actually bought a soursop from because I was eating the fruit at that particular time, and I just took the seeds out and ate them. But where are you? What grow zone are you in? So where I am, we never get soursop. I think okay, dragon fruit is starting to become more popular where I am. Um, but yeah, soursop. Yeah, unless I'm in Florida or Georgia or something, you're in 9A. So you're in 9A. Are you on the West Coast? Is that where you are? So 9A, yeah, I know more on the East Coast. It's a little bit easier to get. Oh, you're in Florida, really? Florida? Wow, wow. Yeah, I know. So I know in South Florida. I know South Florida is easy. Ocola and Gainesville. Okay. So you're more like Central Florida then. So not too far from Orlando. That's interesting. And now I know in South Florida there are soursop. I mean, you could get them anywhere in South Florida. Like the Miami area, Fort Lauderdale. At least when I was going some years ago, I would see them everywhere. But this is not the first I've heard that it's hard to get them now. Yeah, that's so weird. So, man, I'm trying to remember what website I got them off of. If I figure out what website I got it from, I'll let you know. Planting seeds. I'm in North Florida now. I moved out of Central, which is Orlando. Okay. So yeah, if you're in North Florida, I'm sure it's probably gonna be a little bit harder to get those seeds. Yeah, let me write your let me write your profile name down, and I'm gonna look and see if I can find where I got those seeds. So, but I bought a box full of different fruit. This was some years ago, and they had soursop, they had star fruit, um, pomegranate. They had all of those different types of seeds. I found the seeds. I was just trying to try the fruit. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's going on with them. But it's interesting, you know, when you go out of the country and you go to, let's say, Colombia or Brazil or something, you can just see those things just everywhere. There's something going on here to where I don't know what's going on. I found the seeds at a Spanish store called Bravo. Oh, okay. So yeah, I'll check that out too. Let me see. Bravo. I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, I haven't heard of Bravo. I'm gonna check that one out. I appreciate that. Yeah, soursop. So where you are zone 9A, I mean, can a soursop? I mean, can it survive in 9A? I know 9A is not like super cold, but I know it can get a little bit cooler. I just wonder how a soursop tree would do there. Again, I know South Florida is what like grows on 12 and 12A and 12B. I'm sure they'll be fine there. Although I think that frost kind of hit all throughout Florida. Maybe was it 2 weeks ago? A lot of people I saw lost a lot of their fruit trees in Florida over the last couple of weeks when that snowstorm hit, the rest of the country, and then that hard frost hit. I saw videos of iguanas falling and couldn't move, and people showing their bananas and all kind of trees that kind of died. It's tropical. I plan to take my answer. Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good idea. So where you are, do you guys have like the high tunnels and greenhouses? Do you guys do that too, or is it just like we'll be all right? We don't need any of that. I've always been interested about that area. I lost my banana, but they've been trying to come back. Oh, okay. Wow. Wow. Yeah. I remember I had put a banana out where I am maybe 5 years, no, not 5, 6 years ago. It was around the time where it's like, okay, yeah, the last frost day was this day. Put my bananas out there, and the next morning, all of a sudden, frost was gonna come. Wasn't showing in the forecast at all, and that thing died immediately. Crazy. But that's good to know that yours is coming back. So when you say it's coming back, are you saying like there's little pups coming up, or like that the big one that you had is like starting to produce leaves again? Or did you have to chop that down and just let the pup start to come back up? And then also with you being at 9A, do you have to like mulch them heavy and cover them up with something when you know the cooler weather is coming? Always interested to know about that stuff for the people that are in northern Florida. So I've been through Pensacola. uh I've been through like Destin and all those in that little panhandle. Now, one thing I will say is the food that I've had, the seafood in that area is good. So even all throughout going through Mobile, Alabama, that food is good up in that area. I don't know what they do, but that food is good. Okay. All right. So if you're just coming in, appreciate you for being here. We've been talking about many different things. We've started our sugarcane plants. So if you missed that, you can go back to the top of this video. We planted some dragon fruit. We were in the process of getting to the inside of the seed, and the mango didn't want to waste too much time. We've opened up a grapefruit, wasn't able to find any seeds in there. Had a lime, wasn't able to find any seeds in there either. So you say I mulch heavy and leave the dead leaves on for more protection. Green leaves try to sprout once the sun comes back. Oh, okay. All right. So it's not a done deal. Man, I wish I had that kind of weather, man. I put those bananas out there. If any, I don't know what it is about the frost here, but I have noticed this though. If the bananas for at least where I am, if I put them outside, let's say in May, right, and it goes throughout the whole, the whole summer, the bananas are fine up until like mid-October, even when the frost hits. But if the bananas have been sitting in the house for a while, and then I put them out there, it's a nice day, let's say, and then it frosts that night, they're gonna die. So it's something about them being used to being in that cooler weather, planting seeds. All right. Well, I appreciate all of that feedback. All right, so if you're just coming in, you guys got any questions? We've been talking about a lot today. Someone asks, why do I go live? I explained that. We've been talking about bananas and the protection of them, even down in Florida with the cold spells that happened. We planted our first sugar cane in buckets. I mean, we've been doing a lot, man. We've been just sitting here kicking it and teaching each other what we can about gardening, which was one of the reasons why I said that I started to go live, because yes, you can get the information from recording the video and uploading it, but I want to be more interactive. I want to do things real time. So like I said before, if I'm planting something, why not record it as I'm doing it versus planting it, then I got to get the camera, I got to set this up, then I got to upload it, I got to make sure it uploaded. I mean, let's just go live, right? So not only can you learn, I learn too. We ask questions, we bounce ideas off of each other. And so, can you explain how you did your sugar canes in a bucket? Yeah. So this is what we have left of it, but so in the middle here were some of the nodes that we took off and planted them. But from my understanding of my research, again, I'm no expert, and I've explained that in the beginning, but each line, right? Each line in between these little nodes here produce roots, right? And so you plant them horizontally like this. From my understanding, yes, you can plant them vertically, but what I've read and did my research on is better to do it this way. So you want to plant it to where these nodes are facing up like this. So for example, I would plant it straight in like this. And then from these little lines here, they're going to produce your roots. Now, what we did was we would make cuts right in front of where this new growth would start. All right, we would cut here. That way the roots can grow here, and then what would be in front of it can sprout up and start to grow. Okay, so that's what we covered today. And what I have on the bottom here was growing in water. So you can see the roots on it. I'm gonna put this back in the water until I decide what I'm gonna do with it. I think I'm gonna put this one like in a bigger pot so we can go ahead and start to grow. And we had one that had a little bit of extra on it, and we're gonna plant this one in something smaller. So again, this is what they make the refined sugar out of. All of this in the inside of here. This is the natural sugar. So yeah, got a lot going on. All right, so welcome back, Lucas Fabricant. Welcome back. So yeah, we've been talking about that weather that came and what happened to the gardens in North Florida over the last couple of weeks with that cold weather. Should I sub to you? Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead and sub. We would appreciate it. So we were talking about I love to start a community where like-minded people can swap seeds and send each other tools and ideas to help each other in the garden. We're like-minded. Yeah, that's a good idea. So yeah, so yeah, I mean we can work on that. We definitely can work on that. Um I'm actually in the middle of developing a app now, a gardening app, and yeah, we'll talk more about that this upcoming week. But that's a great idea. So how would you propose we do something like that, like coming up with the app or starting a group or like a Facebook group? How would you should make a community garden? Yeah, that is true. So actually, yeah, we're working on that. So last year we had people actually come to where we live. They would come here and they would just pretty much go shopping, just grab whatever they wanted in our yard. We would educate them on what the produce was, and sometimes people would even donate. They would just grab the greens they wanted because we grow a lot of collards, we grow a lot of cabbage, and people were just coming and just coming and eating, just hanging out. You sell plants. We are in a process of getting the plant started. Um, I'm gonna be honest. With me having a family of six, having a full time job, and I would love to do this full time, but until there's a little bit more freedom, I would say as of right now, it's gonna be tough to do. I'm not gonna say no. So just let me know if it's something that you want that we grow, and we'll see about getting it over to you. But that's it. That's if we have it. But just let me know. Starting a group for sure. In the first meeting, can talk about ideas. Um, yeah. All right. So yeah, we can work on the group. Yeah. I mean, do you think we should start it on Facebook, or what do you think? What's your full time job? So I'm a software developer. I've been in IT for 18 years, and I pretty much done everything you can do in IT, primarily within the healthcare part. I'm sorry, the healthcare industry. And so, yeah, I mean, I remember doing networking, and then when I was a younger guy in my 20s, doing the hardware stuff, being the first line of support, driving my car all around Nashville. And then I worked my way up to doing, they call it HL7 interfacing. And I've done networking, security, I've done all of that. Now I'm just strictly software development. And this is, why I decided to create that app too, because it's like, this is kind of what I do anyway. Why not give, something to the community that we can use to help the gardening community? Instagram and Facebook, you should start it on Facebook will work even though I'm not as experienced with Facebook. Do you got school tomorrow because there's a blizzard? Do y'all guys? Uh, all right. Facebook. Facebook will Instagram and Facebook. You just started on. So all right. So yeah, I'll work on getting a Facebook start. Instagram. I have an Instagram. I honestly, yeah, maybe we'll do Instagram. I guess I didn't realize you can do groups on Instagram, but maybe because I don't use it as much. Okay, so yeah, I'll look into both, and I'll update you guys. Do they have school tomorrow? I have no idea. I'm gonna be honest. Like where I am, you'll be waiting all night. They won't let you know anything, and then when you wake up in the morning, maybe an hour before school is supposed to start, that's when they'll let you know if they're school or not. So I have no idea. So you let me know if that's the experience you have wherever you are. Cause where I am, it's yeah, they are, yeah, they just tell you at the very last minute. So you would think that they would have it together a little bit more, but I think it's because of this. So we're in the times where you have this e-learning, right? So they know they can bank on that. But then I also think that some of the bus drivers for the kids, you know, don't want to drive in those conditions either. They don't want to take that risk, and they don't want to be in a position of where they're in an accident with all of those kids. So a lot of them will just, you know, call out and say, I'm not driving. It's too risky, and I'm not willing to put my life and other people's lives on the line like this. So I think that's why they're not doing it. Uh Same here. Is it snowing there? Yep, it's snowing. So where you are, what city are you in? Yeah, it's definitely snowing here. We've been having high winds, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to put a door on the tunnel that I built this past week is because right now I just kind of have it rolled up. Hadn't really figured out how I wanted to close it, and I put some I put some what do you call those things? The little the little clamps on them, and the wind's been blowing it straight off. So you're in New York. Oh, okay. So you in the northern part of New York? You in upstate New York? Wait, what do you do with the plants that are outside when it's snowing? Uh, so right now so right now we outside we have peas. I don't know if you guys remember we planted the peas, and the peas we ended up covering them up with plastic. We planted some potato and all that. We covered that up with plastic. And what else do we have out there? Spinach. I mean, spinach we have them covered, but you don't have to cover spinach. They'll be just fine. We have lettuce growing out there. Onion will be fine. We actually have some onion that we planted last year that just popped up like this week. So we also have, that's really about it. I mean, besides our, you know, the peach trees and the other trees that we have, I'm scared to get animals because of the weather sometimes. Yeah, I mean, really. So, are you talking like chickens and stuff like that? So we had chickens 6 years ago, very cold hardy, fine. Even when they were chicks, they were outside in the negative weather. The only thing we had to have to worry about with chickens or any of the livestock is gonna be raccoons and coyotes. We had a nice secure hoop house for chickens, and the raccoons tore straight off. I mean, we had the netting nailed onto the wood frame, and the raccoons tore them off. And then what they would do is they would tear it off, reach their hand in there, and just snatch them straight out of there. So the cold weather for me, is, I'm not gonna say is a least of my worries, but I think I fear the predators more than if they're gonna be cold or not. And they know how to work together to stay warm. I mean, even your goats, your sheep, whatever you have, they know how to stay warm. How long have you been into this? Gardening. So gardening, I've been doing this since 2005. So yeah, I think I was about 20. What do you do with the plants? So yeah, we talked about that. I had chicks and quail, but wildlife got them. That messed me up for a while. Yeah, you want to know another thing you got to watch too? Um, and they'll get whatever they can get their hand on, the hawks. So sometimes you can think that it's one thing, but if there's absolutely no trace left at all, it's probably the hawks. So you got hawks, we've got eagles that come through here, especially the bald eagles right through now. This time of year, they're mating and all of that. We also have falcon that come through here. We've got red shoulder hawk, red tail hawks. We've got Yeah, we've got all kind of things that'll come. Even the crows will get your quail, and they'll try the chickens too. Surprisingly, so yeah, you got to keep an eye on all those different things. How long have you been streaming? Uh, so I've been trying to get a little bit more acclimated to streaming. So this is my second week streaming, and yeah, I think this is the route to go. I think that, trying to create these videos and doing all this editing, I'm kind of over that as well. But yeah, we've been streaming for about an hour and 17 minutes. Planting, yeah, about an hour and 17 minutes. So what other questions do you guys got? I know it's getting a little late for some of you, so let me know anything else you guys want to talk about. But yeah, the wildlife's gonna get what they gonna, and they'll sit and watch you too. Like, you never know what's watching you. So the other day I planted potatoes in the ground, right? And I said it on that last live. I said the one thing you have to worry about if you plant anything directly into the ground, doesn't matter what it is, it can be a potato seed, right? So the other day I planted the potato seed. I went in the house after the video, came back out 30 minutes later, and two of them were gone. So I don't know what was watching, but something's always watching. I don't know if it was a squirrel. I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, I'm sure it probably weighed about the same as the little potato did. So yeah, you just never know what's watching. Never know. I mean, even your birds, they sit in the tree and you think they're playing around. No, they watching you. They watching what you planting. So if you planting mustard seeds, sunflower seeds, whatever it is, the birds will come and they'll pick everything that you had. And if they see a little worm right there, they're gonna take the worm too. So you just never know who's watching you. Animals always lurk. Your raccoons are lurking. Your possum are lurking. And we actually have a family of possum that I discovered that lives on the west side of the house. So on the west side of the house, we had a shed that I turned into a smaller greenhouse, and I haven't really shown much of that one in the last couple years, but Yeah, and all of the greenhouses and hoop houses we have, there's always something that comes in or underneath. So yeah, the wildlife is definitely gonna get there. So all right, guys, you guys got any more questions for me? It's been nice talking to you guys. I've been getting a lot out of this. Hopefully, you guys are getting something too. So, any questions you guys got? You just coming in? Uh, please make sure you hit the like button so we can fight this algorithm. We've been talking about a lot. We planted a lot. We've talked about while we're going live. We've talked about protecting your produce and the cold. We've planted some dragon fruit. We've planted some sugar cane. We worked on getting to the seed and the mango, which we still got more work to do. We're actually gonna split it open. So we've covered a lot today. All right, so I'll be on just a few more moments here. So any last questions? Anything you guys want to talk about before I get ready for this work week? So appreciate you answering back. Keep doing the lives. You're very informative to the new gardeners like myself. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Appreciate you being here. So yeah, I mean, this is what it's all about. And I mean, even though you're new, I'm sure it's something I can learn from you too. Cause I mean, again, we're all in different parts of the country. I mean, there's things that I would say I grow well where I am because it's where I am, and certain things grow well here, like your lettuce, spinach, peas, all the cool weather crops, mustards. Um, yeah, all of those things that I didn't grow well when I lived in the mid South in Tennessee. So yeah. So any other questions, guys? All right, so I'm gonna get on up out of here. I got a long week ahead of me, so I appreciate all of you guys. We out, guys.